everybody, good evening, happy Monday. Hope you had a good start to the week. So tonight we have a special flow for you. So we have our signature MoreYoga flows and we're going to be practicing the earth flow tonight. So this flow is very much about grounding, rooting, getting a sense of feeling steady, centered. And sometimes we can feel a bit all over the place, so it's really good to have different practices that we can use in life to fulfill kind of the needs and the requirements we have. So yeah, today it's going to be about that, and I hope you enjoy the practice. We're going to go back a little bit to basics, so it's quite a traditional structure to this sequence, but of course you can take it to wherever you want. Okay, so you can practice a slightly stronger version of it, or you can go a bit easy, just based on how you want to play it tonight. Okay, and you can kind of navigate that as you go along. You don't have to make a big decision about that now. You can just see how your body responds to the practice and yeah, how you want to flow. In terms of props, if you want to have two blocks, so ideally the steady ones, these are not the best, but it's what I have today. You might want to have those handy just in case. And other than that, I don't really think you need anything. Yeah, let's get started. So we're going to start by lying on our backs. And you can bend your knees, place your feet flat to the mat, bring your palms by your side. And just take a few moments to settle. You might want to just think about how you're placing your lower back on the mat. So when the knees are bent, we can usually connect the whole back to the mat. So there isn't that curve. You can really rest the spine on the mat. It feels quite nice to give it a rest. And then turn your palms down, the feet are flat, and we're just going to take a few moments to connect with the earth beneath you. So just take a few nice deep breaths through both nostrils, just inhaling and exhaling through the nose. So just starting to settle. Feel free to close your eyes to really drop in. And notice how that earth feels beneath you. So does it feel steady? Does it feel slightly wobbly? Can you connect to its steadiness? So can you allow the earth to just support you at this moment in time? So allow yourself to release and relax into it. Let's just take a few breaths here with that earth connection. We're going to reconnect to it throughout the practice in different ways. And then we're just going to take the right knee into the chest. So just give it a nice big hug. If you want to take a bit of movement through the hip, feel free to do that. Or if you prefer to just be still with that earth quality, feel free to just be still. So just drawing the knee into the chest. And just make sure that your grip is soft, your shoulders are relaxed. And then you can extend that right leg up to the ceiling, interlace your fingers behind the leg. You can either stay heel, you can grab your big toe, if that's easy, okay, don't strain yourself. You can always bend the knee if the hamstrings are feeling a bit tight today. Let's just take a few breaths here. You can keep that earth connection if that is serving you today. And then we're going to take the right ankle to the left knee for eye of the needle, interlace the fingers behind the left leg. And just make sure your head is on the ground. If you struggle to keep the head on the ground, just keep the feet down or just lift to where you can, but without lifting the head. And we'll just take a few breaths here into that right glute, right hip. So that external rotation of the hip. Shoulders soft, grip soft. And spine super supported by the ground. And then just take your left foot down, take your right foot down, take your left knee into your chest, just hug it in. You can take movement or be still, really up to you. Maybe noticing the difference in sensations between the two sides. Relax your shoulders, your neck. Breathe deeply, so stay connected to the breath. And then you're going to extend that left leg so you can interlace the fingers behind the leg. If you want to take your big toe, feel free to do that, but no pressure. You can always bend the knee. If it feels comfortable extending it, do, but just to where it feels right. Just notice the sensations in the body. Notice if there's any tightness. Breathe into it nice and deeply. Try to avoid doing this, okay? So stay rooted and grounded, connected to the earth. And then we're going to take that left ankle to the right knee, interlace the fingers behind the right leg. Draw that right knee towards you and just connect to that glute hip stretch. So on the left side now, keep your grip nice and soft. Breathe deeply, so always connected to the breath. And then just take both feet to the mat. Draw your knees into your chest. Just take a little moment to rock here. So just giving your lower back a little massage. And then we're just going to rock back and rock up to seated. Let's come to a cross-legged seated position. And just take a moment to sit tall. You can rest the fingertips on the mat just so that you keep that earth connection. Press the fingertips and the sitting bones into the mat and lengthen the spine. We're just going to take a little bit of rooting breath. So we're going to breathe from the base of the spine to the crown of the head as you inhale. And then as you exhale, draw the breath back down into the ground. As you inhale, lift the breath, let it rise to the crown of the head. And as you exhale, draw it back down into the earth. So the inhale lifts the breath up. The exhale draws the breath down, and as you draw it down, really get that earth sensation, so that rooting sensation. Just continue in your own time. We're connecting with our base chakra here. So our base chakra, survival instincts, something we've really needed over the last year. Our base, our home. Just take a couple more breaths like that. Okay, and then we're going to take our left hand to the mat and just take a nice sweeping movement with your right arm. Keep both sitting bones connected, and then you're just going to swap to the other side. So we're just going to flow from side to side, but keeping that earth connection. So the body flows. So you can imagine that your base is like the trunk of a tree, the roots of a tree, and the upper part of the body is like the branches of the tree, so just swaying in the wind. Let's take a couple more. And then come back to center. Now reach your fingertips forwards and just take a few moments to breathe in a forward fold here. You can either have the fingertips to the mat, or if you really want to root the hands, ground the hands to the earth and feel its texture. Inhale, lift. Exhale, fold, bow to the earth. Few breaths here. And then we're going to roll up. Now just change the cross of the legs. Take a moment to sit tall, connecting with the earth, fingertips or hands to mat. Lengthen through the spine, so really get that sense of rooting down but lifting up. So that connection with the ground beneath you. Take your right hand to your mat, reach your left arm over, and we're just going to take a few little sways from side to side. So that base is really steady, and we're just finding movement in the upper body. And then we're going to come back to center. And we're going to walk those fingertips forwards, either on your fingertips or really rooting and grounding, connecting the hands to earth, especially if you're feeling a bit wobbly about things at the moment. Inhale, lengthen, lift, and exhale, fold, and take a bow to the earth. So the earth feeds us, the earth holds us, the earth can offer us abundance. So I always find it very humbling to bow to the earth. So we'll just take that bow. Taking a few breaths there. Let's take 2 more breaths, nice and steady breaths. And roll up. Let's come onto all fours. So we're just going to take a few simple cat-cows. So your wrists underneath your shoulders, your knees about hip width apart. Take time to connect with the earth. That earth connection is actually really important in our practice. So important when you start practicing arm balances and inversions. So really good to go back to thinking about how you root through hands, through feet, through knees, through the base of your body. As you inhale, lift and open the chest, and as you exhale, round the spine. Let's just take a few more. Really make this your own. Just find a nice flow as you inhale to open, and as you exhale, you round. Take a few more. And really press into the earth. So use the ground, use that connection with the ground to root yourself, but also to find a little bit more space in the body and the movement. Let's just take one more, inhaling to open. Exhale, round, press into your hands, just come into a child's pose for a few breaths. Keep that earth connection through the palms. The heel of the hand is down on the mat. The forehead may rest on the mat. You may want to put a block underneath your forehead. Take a few breaths in your child's pose, keeping that earth connection. Inhaling, really opening up the back of the ribs, the back of the chest. Exhaling. And then let's just come up onto all fours. We'll take a downward dog. So it's our first one. We can keep it smooth and pedal it. Just move around a little bit. But do keep that nice connection with the earth. So really press down into the earth. Palms wide, fingers wide, palms broad. And then walk your hands to your feet. Let's just take this dangling pose. So taking hold of your elbows. You can bend your knees. Just see how you feel through the back of the legs. So just take what feels right and really keep the upper body loose. So the base of the body is steady through the feet, through the legs, but the upper body can really release. And then release the hands to the mat, bend your knees. Let's roll ourselves up. We're going to sweep the arms up. Take a nice big inhale as you reach the palms to the ceiling. Exhale, hands to heart. Bring your hands to your side and just take a moment to stand. So connect with the earth. Notice how you place your feet. Foot placement is really important in yoga as well. So these are things that are always good to go over. Make sure your toes are nice and broad. Make sure the feet are not dipping in, not outwards, but just really connected, and use that connection to lengthen the body. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands down. Let's come into downward dog. And we're going to hold it. So ground through the palms. Find your downward dog. Press into the earth to lengthen the spine. Breathe deeply. Nice deep breaths. Really spread the fingers wide. Ground all 5 fingers. As you inhale, come into a plank and just hold your plank. So just find a nice long spine. Open the chest. Just look slightly ahead. Release the knees, the chest, the chin. You can bring your hands a little bit further back, maybe to roll into a cobra. Draw your elbows in, pull the shoulders back. Press back either through bent knees, or you can just lift the knees up and come into downward dog. Breathe there. Nice deep breaths. Press the earth away, ground, draw the navel in, engage those bandhas, so that navel to spine especially. Inhale into plank. Exhale, the knees, the chest, the chin come onto your bellies. Elbows close. Inhale to cobra. Exhale to downward dog. Walk the hands back to the feet once again. Take that dangling pose. Just take your opposite elbow and rock from side to side. Knees bent or legs straight. It's your second one. You might feel a little bit more open. Come back to center, release the hands to the mat, softly bend the knees. Let's roll up, sweep the arms up. Take a nice big inhale as you lift the palms to the ceiling. Exhale, hands to mat. Walk into your downward dog. Inhale into plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin. Inhale to cobra. And exhale to downward dog. Breathe there. Nice deep breaths. Let's walk to the front of the mat. As you inhale, come onto fingertips, lengthen the spine, look ahead. And exhale, fold and release. Let's roll up, sweep the arms up. Take a nice big inhale, bring your feet together. Reach the arms up, bring the hands to prayer at the heart. Stand tall, ground. Connect from the earth to the crown of the head. So push down into the earth. And you might want to imagine that you have a yellow thread just pulling your crown a little bit higher. Lovely. And then we're going to release the hands by the side. Sweep the arms up. Take a nice big inhale. Exhale, hands down. Come onto fingertips, halfway lift, lengthen, look ahead, right leg back. Drop your knee, point your toes, come onto fingertips, lift and lengthen the chest. So pull the chest forwards, roll the shoulders back, feel that stretch through the quadricep, through the hip flexor. Release the palms to the mat, ground, come into plank. Release the knees, the chest, the chin. Inhale to cobra. You can come a bit higher if that feels okay. Exhale to downward dog. Breathe there. Nice deep breaths. Just breathing in and breathing out. Breath in. Breath out. Take your right knee into your chest. Step your right foot nice and lightly in between your hands. Drop your left knee. Point your toes. Lift onto your fingertips, open that chest. Just notice the opening through the front of the left leg. Tuck your left toes under, lift your left knee up. Really lightly step to the front of your mat. Come onto fingertips, lengthen, look ahead. Exhale, fold and release. Roll up, sweep the arms up. Take a nice big inhale as you lift the palms to the ceiling. Exhale, hands to mat. Come onto fingertips, lengthen, look ahead. Left leg back. Drop your knee, point your toes. Fingertips are light on the mat. Open the chest, draw the chest forwards. Release the palms to the mat, plank. Release knees, chest, chin, or a chaturanga. You can take it halfway down or all the way down. Inhale to cobra or upward dog. Exhale to downward dog. So you can work on your vinyasas in your own way. Press into the palms, lengthen, look ahead. Lightly step that left foot in between your hands, drop your right knee, come onto fingertips, lengthen, look ahead. Tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee up, step really lightly to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. We're going to roll up, sweep the arms up, big inhale. Now you're going to take your sun salutations as you want to take them, hands down. Come onto fingertips, lengthen, look ahead. You can either step one foot at a time or jump into your chaturanga. Okay, so step into plank or jump straight into your chaturanga. Inhale into cobra with knees down or upward dog with knees lifted. Exhale into downward dog. Breathe in. Nice deep breaths, just breathing in and breathing out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's take 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Ground, earth connection. So drawing that energy from Mother Earth. Softly bend your knees. You can walk or you can jump to the front of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Roll up, sweep the arms up. Take a nice big inhale as you lift the palms to the ceiling. Exhale, hands down. Fingertips to mat. Either step or jump into your plank or straight into your chaturanga. Inhale to cobra or upward dog. Exhale to downward dog. Breathe there. Maybe you can start to feel the heat rising in your body with our warm up. Inhaling here. Exhaling here. Inhale. Exhale, let's softly bend the knees. Walk or jump to the front of the mat. As you inhale, come onto fingertips. Heel toe your feet apart and you're going to come onto fingertips, lengthen the spine, look ahead, exhale, fold. If you want to take your big toes here with your 2-piece fingers and your thumb, feel free to grab them. As you inhale, lengthen, look ahead, and as you exhale, fold. Your shoulders move away from your ears, so they're not dropping down towards the ground, but they're lifting slightly away from the ground and then out to the sides of your mat. Breathe here. Nice deep breaths. You can always bend your knees if you feel that the hamstrings are tight or if you have any tension in the lower back and it's not feeling great to fall forwards. You can either bend the knees or you could always just have a block and be here, okay? You don't need to be in full forward bend. Let's take 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale, 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, lovely. Let's bend our knees. We're going to roll up, sweep the arms up. Big inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Bring your feet together and bring your hands by your side. Take a moment to stand really tall, grounding and rooting, steady. And then we're going to come into chair. So sit nice and low. Reach your fingertips forwards, lift. So try not to round the spine. You really want to be nice and open through the chest. Try not to bring the knees over the toes. You want to see all 10 toes. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Inhaling. Exhaling. 1 more. Inhale. And hands down. You can either step into your plank or you can jump once again, taking your vinyasa. Inhale to cobra or upward dog. And exhale to downward dog. We're going to take the left foot to the center, so to the midline, and then lift your right leg up. Press your heel away, press into the ground to really get that length through that back leg. Breathe here. So draw the navel in, really find length as if you want that back heel to go as far back as you can. And then take your right knee into your chest, step your right foot through, ground your left heel, and reach your arms up, warrior 1. Bend your front knee, lift and open the chest. Release the hands, either straight into downward dog or another vinyasa here. So you decide how your shoulders are feeling today, how hard you want to work, how much energy you have. Right foot center, left leg up, push into the hands, draw that left heel back. So we're working with the hips level this time, just for this round. Push, 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 and pull the heel back. Draw your left knee into your chest, step your left foot through, ground your right heel. Bend your front knee, reach the arms up, warrior 1. Release the hands to the mat, vinyasa, or straight into your downward dog, your choice. Cobra, upward dog, downward dog. Let's breathe here. Nice deep breaths, rooting from the earth. Growing long and tall, softly bend the knees, walk, jump to the front of the mat. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Let's roll up, sweep the arms up, chair. Hands to mat. Step or jump into your plank. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, cobra or upward dog. Downward dog. Let's take the right leg up and back. If this time it feels nice to open the hip, feel free to open the hip and bend the knee. Lifting the right knee up to the ceiling, but pulling that left hip back. Extend the leg, realign the hips, gently step that right foot in between your hands. Warrior one, float the arms up. Hands to mat, either straight into downward dog or vinyasa, your choice. Cobra or upward dog, downward dog. Let's take the right foot into the midline. Reach the left leg up. You can open that left hip if that feels good. Press into the hands, pull back. Extend the leg, realign the hips, step that left foot through, ground your back heel, warrior one, once again. Hands to mat. Vinyasa. Or straight to downward dog, your choice. We'll meet in downward dog. We'll take a few breaths there. Nice deep breaths. Inhaling. Exhaling. And again, inhale. Exhale, let's take our right leg up and back. Open the hip, bend the knee. Step your right foot through, come into warrior one. Float the arms up, lift up. Release the hands to the mat, three-legged dog this time. So right leg up and back. Right knee into your chest, step your right foot through, ground your back heel. You're taking the foot a little bit wider now. So toes slightly further turned out to come into your warrior two. Right arm is forwards, left arm is back, right knee is bent. Make sure the right knee is not dropping inwards. As you inhale, you're going to reverse. We're going to take the right elbow to the right knee and take the left arm over. You can take a full circle if you want. Reverse, take it all the way back, keep that front knee bent. Either elbow to knee once again, or right hand inside your foot, full circle. And again, reverse, take it back. Either elbow to knee or right hand outside your foot, full circle. We're going to come back, reverse, and this time we're going to straighten the front leg, push into the earth, and reach into those right fingertips. Really find that side stretch. Energize the back leg, push into the front foot. Open up. And then reach your right arm forwards for Utthita Trikonasana. So just lengthen, 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 hand to shin. Of course, if you can comfortably get the hand to the mat, that's fine, but not necessary. Your body is in line with the front leg. Watch that your right knee is not dropping inwards. So just draw the hip in a little bit, turn the knee forwards. Breathe here, Utthita Trikonasana. Let's take a couple more breaths. And then just push into the ground to come up. Bring your feet parallel, reach your arms up, lift them up to the ceiling. Take your hands behind your back. Interlace the fingers, lift and open the chest, and take a forward fold here. We'll take a few breaths. If the heels of the hands come together comfortably, feel free to do that. Squeeze your shoulders towards each other. Breathe nice and deeply. Make sure the toes are not turned out, but maybe slightly inwards so that the outer seams of the feet are parallel to the mat. Just watch where your weight is. We often push the weight too far back. Maybe bring it slightly forwards if that's available. And then bring your hands to your waist, slowly roll up through a nice long spine. Turn your right toes towards the front of the mat. We're going to take warrior two. Reverse it, take it back, and windmill your hands to the mat. Frame your front foot, left hand down, right arm up. Right hand down, we're going to take a three-legged dog. So our right leg is going to swing up and back. We're going to step the right foot in between the hands, float the arms up, take a high lunge. Take a moment to get steady here as you bring your hands to prayer. We're going to twist towards the right knee. So you can take a half twist or a full twist, taking your elbow outside your knee. Okay? And if you take the elbow outside the knee, try not to collapse into the leg. So push into the leg, lengthen the spine, open the chest, breathe here. Keep that back leg nice and engaged. Nice deep breaths. Lift the chest off the leg. Try not to collapse. Try and stay light. We're going to come back into a high lunge. So really press into the earth. Come into your high lunge. Your right foot is forwards. Your left foot is back. We're going to take the hands to the mat. We're going to come into plank. Stay there, okay? Right hand center. We're going to come into side plank. If you need to put your knee down, feel free to do that. Otherwise, feet in front of each other, or you can stack your feet. If you have anything fancy you want to do here, go ahead. Take any variations that you have in your repertoire, in your yoga repertoire. 2 more breaths here. Press, 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 lift, lift, lift. And then release your left hand to your mat. Come into a plank. Try and come down as slow as you can. Either knees, chest, chin, or a nice slow chaturanga all the way down to the ground. Reach your fingers back. Shalabhasana, locust pose. Float your chest, your chin, your feet, your legs up. Breathe here. Nice deep breaths. Breathing in. Breathing out. Energize the legs. Energize the fingertips. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. And release down. Now we're going to press back into downward dog. You can press through cobra or upward dog, or just press straight back into your downward dog. Let's take a few breaths there. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhale. Make sure your neck is nice and relaxed. Exhale. Right foot comes into the midline. Float your left leg up and back. If you want to open the hip, feel free to. And then we're going to step that left foot in between the hands. Warrior 1. Ground your back heel. Reach up. Hands to mat. 3-legged dog. So that left leg is going to float back up into your 3-legged dog. Left knee into chest. Step your left foot through. Let's ground that back heel. Warrior 2. So Warrior 2, pretty much heel to heel alignment. For some people, heel to instep is fine, but don't feel you need to. Bend your front knee, energize those arms, look over that middle left finger. Breathe there, nice deep bend of the knee if you can. Reverse. Elbow to knee, left elbow to left knee. Right arm circles. Let's take it back, reverse. Either elbow to knee or hand inside your foot, your choice. Right arm circles, push into the earth, keep the knee bent, reverse. Either elbow to knee or left hand to outside your foot, big circle with your right arm. And reverse, take it back. Now we're going to hold the reverse, push that left foot into the ground, energize your back leg and find that side stretch. Breathe out. Reaching, opening through the side body, and then lengthen that left arm forward. You might need to bring your right foot in a little bit. Lengthen through the side body, reach those left fingertips forwards. Take your left hand to your shin or inside your foot and reach your right arm up. Let's breathe here, nice deep breaths. Draw your left hip in and really find that side body length. Make sure your left knee is turned towards the front of your mat rather than inwards. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale, 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, let's push into the earth. Come up nice and smoothly. Bring the feet parallel. Reach your arms up. Take your hands behind your back. Interlace the fingers, lift and open. Maybe take the lace the other way. So the way you take it normally, just move it. Feels a bit odd. Inhale, open the chest. And exhale, fold. We'll take a few breaths there. Nice deep breaths, just breathing in and breathing out. Breath in. Breath out. Let's take a couple more breaths. Inhale. Exhale, and again, inhale. Exhale, hands to waist. Let's roll all the way up. And then come back into warrior two with your left foot in front. Bend your knees. Take it back. Windmill the hands down to the mat. Right hand down, left arm up. Left hand down, three-legged dog. Left leg up. Left knee to chest, step your left foot through. Let's come into a high lunge. And then bring your hands to prayer at the heart. We're going to take that twist once again. So right elbow outside your left knee. Lovely. Really energize that back leg. Parivrita Parajvakonasana. Taking a few breaths there. Press the palms into each other. Lift the heart. So try not to sink. Breathe deeply. Let's take 2 more breaths. Try not to draw the right hip forwards too much. So stay connected to that right hip and pull it back and squeeze through the belly to find the twist. And then we're going to push into the earth, reach the arms up. Bring your hands to your mat. So frame the front foot. We're going to come into plank. I'm just turning around so that you can see me. And then left hand to center. And we're going to come into, whoopsie daisy, a side plank. So you can take your knee down. Or you can have the feet in front of each other or stack them. If you stack them, maybe flex them as well. It does help. We'll take 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale, 1 more. Inhale. And hand down. We're going to come all the way onto our bellies. Nice and slow. And once again, a Shalabhasana. So you can reach your fingertips back. If you want to interlace the fingers behind your back, and float up like that, feel free to do that. We'll take a few breaths here. Inhaling, exhaling, inhale, exhale. 2 more breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and slow release. Bring your hands by your ribs. We're just going to make our way back into downward dog, your own pathway. So you can do something fancy like a reverse plank or something lazy like me. Let's take a few breaths in downward dog. Nice deep breaths. Breathing in and breathing out. Let's walk the feet to the front of the mat. Let's come onto fingertips. Inhaling and exhaling, releasing. We're going to roll up. So, reach the arms up and then bring the hands to prayer at the heart. So just take a moment to stand. You can bring your hands by your side. If you prefer to have the hands by the heart, that's absolutely fine. If you like taking the mudra. And just take a moment to find that steadiness. So grounding through the earth. If it feels better to spread the feet a little bit wider, have them apart, totally fine. You can close your eyes, just reconnect with your breath. Feel the earth beneath you press into the ground. Imagine that golden thread once again just pulling your crown up to the sky. So the distance between the earth and the crown of your head is just a little bit broader, but your shoulders are relaxed. We're going to take our right foot and we're going to place it into tree pose. So tree you can take down here if you're feeling wobbly today. You can take it under your knee or above the knee, just not on the knee. And try and find your balance. And then we're going to bring the hands to prayer. Let's just take a few breaths here. Nice deep breaths. So the key for tree is to really get the foot and the inner thigh to be pressing into each other so hard that literally the foot cannot slide. If you want to take the arms up, feel free to do that. If you want to take your right hand to your right knee and reach your left arm over, feel free to do that. So that's swaying tree. And then bring the arms up. Take your right knee into your chest. Release the foot down to the mat. So we're going to step the right foot back. And this is where you might want to have some blocks, depending on your hamstrings and your lower back probably as well. So there's no stigma to using blocks. Sometimes we just need props, okay? So don't feel that you're not doing it right if you're using props. So either the hands to the mat, or you place your blocks to the outer edges of the foot. And we're just going to get a really long spine. So if you're on the mat, just stay on your fingertips and try and really open up the lower back. So try to not surrender into the ego that immediately wants to get the head to the knee. Get length, nice length in the spine. Once you've established that length and once you get the hips nicely aligned, then you can fold forwards. So just noticing the space you find in your body today. Not yesterday, not what you want it to be, but really connect to where it's at today. Breathe here. Nice deep breaths. Okay, now push into the ground. Just come to flat back with your hands in prayer and roll up, push up. Bring your weight into your left foot. We're just going to take a warrior 3. So you're going to float your right leg up. And you're just going to try and find that straight line. So really energize that back leg. Push the earth with your left foot. Steady here, gaze steady in front of you. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Inhaling. Exhaling, 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Bend your front knee. Just step into a high lunge. Reach the arms up. Now release the hands to the mat and drop your right knee to the mat. We're going to stretch the left leg out. You might need to wriggle the heel a little bit further. Come onto your fingertips. Inhale, lengthen here. Just make sure that you're really steady and then fold. We'll take a few breaths here. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhale, exhale. So we're going to take our right hand inside our foot and we're going to reach the left arm up. So you're going to feel that in the IT band, so the outer seam of the left leg. If you need a block underneath your right hand, place the block underneath your right hand. Open the chest to the side, breathe here, flex the foot for stability, for steadiness, and then release the hand to the mat. So you can either stay here and take a few more breaths here, or if you have a splits practice, feel free to lift the back knee and slide into your splits if you want to take that. We'll just take a few more breaths here. I'm just going to hang out here with you guys and just treat my body kindly today. But if you're in splits, feel free to lift the arms up to the ceiling, or you can fold over your left leg, whatever feels right. Just take 3 more breaths here. If you're in splits, start coming up and meet us in half Hanuman, half split. Then bend your front knee, bring your hands to your mat. You can either step straight into downward dog, or if you want to take a vinyasa, feel free to take a vinyasa. Let's take a few breaths in downward dog. You might want to move around a little bit. It's quite a strong hamstring stretch. So just do anything that feels good. And then we're going to make our way to the front of the mat once again. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, fold. Let's roll up, sweep the arms up, take a nice big inhale as you reach the palms to the ceiling, exhale, hands to heart. So we're just going to take tree on the other side. So bringing your weight into your right foot and taking your left foot into tree. Bringing your hands to prayer, and we'll take a few breaths here. So really remember that glue between your inner thigh and the foot. Breathe there. Nice deep breaths. Pressing the foot into the ground, lengthening the spine, growing tall, steady and stable. Some days balancing is easy, some days it's hard. If you want to take the arms up, go ahead. If you want to take that swaying tree, feel free to do that. Then reach the arms up, hands to prayer, knee to chest, foot down, and then you're going to step your left foot back, hands to mat or to blocks. Just find that lengthened spine. So we don't want to be completely wonky through the hips. So sometimes the right hip goes forward, sometimes we're a bit here. Really get that length at the base of the spine. It feels really nice to open up here. And then once you've got that length, you can fold, but you don't have to. You can just stay with the length. Especially if there are any aches and pains, just listen to that. Don't push through. If you push through, you'll get to my age with loads of injuries, okay? I used to push a lot. And I've lived through quite a lot of aches and pains, which I've had to work through. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Push into the ground, come up. Bring your weight into your right foot, hands to prayer. Warrior 3, left leg floats up. Push into the ground. So you don't want to open that left hip. You really want to turn all 5 toes towards the ground. It means that your core has to work to support you here. And then step back into your high lunge. We're going to release the hands to the mat, the left knee to the mat, stretch your right leg out. Let's start with half Hanuman, okay? Even if you can do full, just take a bit of time in half. We don't need to rush to our maximum straight away. Lengthen the spine and then fold. Let's take a few breaths here. Nice deep breaths. Just in that forward fold. And then we're going to keep the left hand on the mat. We're going to reach the right arm up. If you need to block underneath your left hand, place the block, find the twist, reach your right fingertips forwards, or up, sorry. Breathe there. Feel that stretch in the outer seam of the leg. And if you flex the foot a little bit more, you might get a little bit more action. And then release the hand to the mat. So you can just stay in your forward fold, or you can take your full Hanuman if you want to. Okay, if you take full Hanuman, your variations are here and here if they're in your practice. Otherwise, hang out with me in your half Hanuman just for a few more breaths. Take a couple more breaths. Don't overstretch, please, I beg you, because that's a bad injury to nurture. So you can always place blocks, you can support yourself. If you're in full Hanuman, come out. And then we're going to bend that front knee, hands to mat, vinyasa, or just simply straight into your downward dog. Let's take a few breaths here. Nice deep breaths. Just breathing in and breathing out. Let's drop the knees to the mat. Let's come and sit onto our heels and come into a really well-deserved child's pose. We have a few more postures, but we are nearing the end of the practice. So you can stretch your arms forwards or you can bring your arms by your side. Just take a few breaths here in child's pose. Once again, maybe that notion of bowing to the earth. So the earth that does offer us so much. And that we don't always treat so well. Okay, let's roll up. We're going to stretch the legs in front of us. And you're going to bend your right knee and stretch your left leg out to the side. If you need a block here to sit on, by all means, grab a block. Take your left hand inside your foot, take a nice big side stretch. Right arm over, reaching into those fingertips, lengthening. Nice steady breaths. And then just come back up. Now you're going to turn towards your left leg, so you might want to bring your knee in a little bit. Turn your body towards your left leg. You might want to even angle it slightly towards the outer seam of the left leg. Sit tall, and we're going to fold over that left leg. Take a few breaths there. Nice deep breaths. You can be wherever you need to be in space. You could be sitting on a block to help you a little bit with the incline. And we're going to roll up. And then we're just going to change sides. And as you've maybe noticed, this practice has quite a lot of footwork and leg work. So I don't know how your legs are feeling, but mine definitely feel quite stretched out from this practice. So I hope you've benefited too. Right hand inside your foot, left arm over. Stay nice and anchored. Open the chest, breathe here. Nice deep breaths, breathing in and breathing out. Breath in, breath out, a couple more breaths. And let's slowly come back up. Now we're going to turn towards that extended right leg and either just really fold straight over it or maybe find a little bit of an angle and then fold. And we'll take a few breaths here. Nice deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Let's take a few more breaths. And then let's roll up. Let's bend our knees. And we're slowly going to come onto our backs. We'll just take a bridge pose. So you can bring your feet about hip width apart. Your heels quite close to your sitting bones, but not too close. So I know people teach this differently. I do like teaching it with knees over ankles, but I have seen it taught like this as well. So yeah, find your way, but I think, especially with the theme we're working on today, just really getting that grounding is nice. Press into the feet, just make sure the knees haven't done that the feet are grounded, connected, the toes are connected. If you want to interlace your fingers behind your back, feel free to do that. You can wriggle the shoulders towards each other. Stay connected through all 10 toes. The inner thighs are active, so imagine that you have a beach ball in between your inner thighs and you don't want to lose it. Let's take 2 more breaths here. And then your hands to your mat, just slow roll down through the spine. Bring your knees into your chest, give them a big hug, give yourself a little rock from side to side. Take your arms out to the side and just drop both knees to the right. Your head can come to the left. We'll just take a few breaths here. Just completely relaxed, letting go. Allow the spine to unravel. And allow yourself to just surrender to the ground. So just letting go here. And then take your knees to the other side, just drop them to the left, your head to the right. We're just going to breathe here, just relaxing and releasing, surrendering to the ground beneath us. So really get that sense of letting go. And maybe as you think of letting go, that right knee just moves a little bit more towards the left, just organically, and your head moves a little bit more to the right. And then let's come back to center. We're ready for final relaxation. So just set yourself up in Shavasana. If you tend to suffer from a little bit of lower back pain, it might just be nice to bend the knees or to drop them into each other. If you feel very comfortable in Shavasana, just stretch your legs out, have your feet about mat width apart. Turn your palms upwards. If you still want to keep that earth connection, you can bring your hands down to your mat. So up to you, palms turned up. If you feel that you're ready to receive and to have that kind of open attitude. If you feel that you still need to ground, just turn the palms down and connect with the earth. So receiving from the earth rather than from the sky. Receiving that steady, stable energy, that grounding energy. And we'll spend a few minutes here. And you can come back to that breath that we were practicing at the beginning. So we practiced it seated, but you can just let that breath navigate from the base of the spine to the crown of the head and back. And if you do want to come and sit up, feel free to sit up instead of lying down. And you can really practice that grounding, rooting breath through the spine. So up to you, see what works for you. So just allow the breath to flow through the spine, from the base all the way up to the crown of the head, so beyond the spine. Just stay with that breath. Stay with that earth connection, whether you're sitting or lying. And if it helps to get a sense of grounding and rooting, you might want to visualize a tree. Maybe it's a tree that you know that you have close to your house, or that you meet when you go for your daily walk, or maybe a tree of your childhood. And just visualize that sense of stability, those roots reaching deep into the earth for nutrients, for nourishment. The steady trunk of the tree, that sense of stability, sense of strength. And then you can allow yourself to visualize those branches reaching for the sky, for opportunities of growth. And we're moving into spring, so soon those trees will be full of leaves. So we can observe that potential for life, for growth. Take a few breaths with that image. If you're lying down, just allow your breath to deepen. And start bringing a little bit of movement into your body, fingers and toes, maybe stretching the arms, hugging the knees into the chest, taking a little rock from side to side. And then take a moment to roll onto your right side and just curl up there. Take a bit of time there. So that fetal position. Pillow underneath your head, so your right arm underneath your head. And then you can press into your left hand when you're ready and come and join us in a seated position. Bringing our hands to prayer at the heart, taking a moment here. And we're just going to seal this practice for tonight.
I hope you've enjoyed the practice, and I hope to see you soon. Next week I will be teaching the water flow, which is quite different. So I hope you'll join me there as well. Have a lovely week, have a lovely evening, and take care. Stay safe. Thank you, everybody.